try to make the best of them to the best of my power. Um, Keep it real though, you know. We are watching the final round of this ladder event in Gentry Standard, which is a budget version of Standard that allows 4 uh, rares and or mythics, but they have to be 4 different ones, and 15 uncommons. So Frederik on blue-red uh, control. We'll see what kind of victory condition. It could be tutelage, could be a more burn-oriented deck. We also have, he probably is playing the 0-3 pinger that untaps whenever you uh, play an instant or a sorcery. So Frederik played the reprint of Accumulated Knowledge. I keep forgetting the name. Should really study the Elrich Moon cards. Oh, damn it. And Bastiaan gets in for one other more. So Bastiaan is on the Delirium plan. It's a more mid to late game oriented plan for sure. I see Tormenting Voices, so that's quite an indication that Frederik is going for either Rise from the Tides or Tutelage. I think at this point Rise from the Tides is somewhat more likely at this point. Though I think I may have spotted a Tutelage in the back of his hand there. But we'll see it as the game develops. Right now he's not under a lot of pressure. Bastiaan only able to put 1 damage per turn, and we have a Read the Bones for Bastiaan, either digging or reloading. I think he pushed both to the bottom. Frederik very eagerly putting the life totals equal, showing he's not behind in the race. And we have a vessel. So Tormenting Voices, discard a card and draw 2. So like mega cycling. The thing you say that it's about to rotate is only semi-true. It cycles itself very well into a Rise from the Tides deck, which will be playable for another year, I guess. Yeah. We have Brain in a Jar. So for those of you that don't know what it does, it's 1 mana tap, put a counter on Brain in a Jar, scry, no, then play a instant or sorcery without paying its casting cost, and you can remove tokens to scry for that amount. You can remove counters to scry for that amount of cards. So this is usually a card that's more at home in Rise from the Tides decks, because it lets you play Rise from the Tide at instant speed, so your tokens are free from getting swept out by the removal or flaying tendrils like cards that deal 2 damage or give -X/-X to multiple creatures. Sure. So Frederik wants to make notes of how far in Delirium we are. So it's just the piece of paper in play is just a note from Frederik to remind himself that Bastiaan actually has Delirium. And Bastiaan gets a 4/4 hexproof trample for his trouble. So that's pretty much the worst card that these blue-red control decks can face. That's the mill one, draw one with Madness. Okay. So they're discussing a little bit on why the cards are interesting. You see, again, this is pretty much just part of our play group here. Most players are here for fun and to teach each other how to become better players. It's something we tried hard to cultivate and enforce in the couple of years that it took to build the community, and it's really paying off right now. But back to the game, Frederik is getting pounded pretty hard, so he can easily take care of the Gnaw root. With the 4/4 trample hexproof will prove to be quite troublesome for him. So at this point it's a 3-turn clock. And with that, Bastiaan turns into a 2-turn clock, putting another 3 power on the table. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Frederik doesn't have an answer against it. Against the Scavenger, we know he has the Lightning Axe already in his hand, and a Fiery Impulse deals 3 damage now to get rid of the second Null root. So 2-turn clock, Bastiaan attacking for 7, but most likely that Scavenger won't get to actually attack here. So pieces of the puzzle, Frederik looking for answers, but I think he just revealed 5 lands off of that. Oh, that hurts. Not sure what that is. I assume an emerge creature. Let's see if I can look it up. So So, whatever the creature was, it's a decimator of the provinces, I assume. Was the decimator of the provinces? Yeah. So, It's a big emerge card. When you cast it, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. It also has trample and haste of itself, and it's a 7/7. So that's a pretty big finishing hit there, coming out of the Delirium deck. A bit of a surprise as well, though it is a pretty good fit for the deck. Okay, so that was game one already. Yeah, Decimator of Prophecies. So that was game one. The players are going to their sideboards. Um, I would expect both players to have a pretty decent plan against each other. For black decks, you'd expect Duress to come out of the sideboard, as it is a pretty versatile answer against slower decks. Most likely has quite a bit of a removal to board out to make room for those. So that's all pretty good. Yeah, it is Rise. We heard them talking about it during game one as well. Obviously, you guys don't have audio, so you can't listen in the way I do. Um, but yeah, so it is a Rise teams deck, and will not really rotate out. There are some draw spells that it loses, and losing Fiery Impulse will be pretty painful as well, but chances are that what's the next set called? Fire of Kaladesh will have a basic type red removal spell again, so looks pretty good for this deck. So we see that both players actually have quite a few cards to board in. I think Frederik side both players sideboarded 6 to 8 cards, so that's quite a significant bit of sideboard tech affecting this matchup. So Bastiaan de Greze won game one. Let's update the standing in the match. Ding! There we go. And let's see if this will be another 2-0 blowout, or if we will actually get to see a 2-1 match. So for the people that have just joined, my name is Niels, I'm your commentator for this event. We're in round 4 of this Gentry standard ladder event. It's a budget format that allows a maximum of 4 rares and or mythics and a maximum of 15 uncommons. Usually I have this cute little scroll bar on the bottom of my screen, but apparently there's a little problem with the software, so I have to repeat this ad nauseam over and over and over again. If you have any questions, wishes, or complaints, feel free to dump them in the chat, and I will ignore the ones I don't like to my best power. Okay, Frederik making one last minute change of plan. It's these kinds of last second things that either save you the game or they turn out to be the worst thing, and you're holding the card in your hand and going like, oh my god, why did I change this last second? And you know it's that one card. You just always stands out. At least that's my experience with last minute, god damn it, I can't speak anymore, last minute changes like that. So for the people that want to find out more about the format, we have a website as well, which is Gentry Magic. No, it's wordpress.gentrymagic.com. Link is somewhere in the description on the Twitch channel, so you can find it there. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description of the channel and the video as well.